Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to talk about the silent 2021 stock market crash that is currently going on. What I mean by this is I kind of made a post on Patreon, which if you want to join, the link is in the description, and I basically thought this is actually a really good name for what is currently going on at the moment. It's not a stock market crash, but certainly for quite a few of us, it's definitely feeling like a sort of crash situation, a bit like March 2020 all over again. And basically on that post, I went on to just kind of give a bit more support, very similar to the videos that I've done on the last few days. Think about the long term, think about buying great companies. The best chance to make money is when you buy them on a dip. And basically, there was a few things on that when I posted this post calling it the silent 2021 crash. And as well as that, I also posted what I've been buying and selling over the last few days as well. So if you do want to join that, link's in the description. And if you could, smash the like button, and if you're new, subscribe as well. But yeah, it definitely feels like we've got a slight crash going on at the moment, because there's quite a lot of stocks at the moment are down 50% or more. And you can't tell me that's not a crash. I think the actual kind of official percentage is 20%. So when you've got stocks down 50%, we are calling this a crash 100%. I'm not having anyone else that says it isn't. But the thing is, it won't ever actually get put down as a crash, because when you look at a lot of the indexes are near 52 highs, and they're only slightly down on a few percentage. Whereas what we're talking about here is a lot of small market cap companies that have a lot of high growth that are down more, and those are the companies that have been really affected. And those small market cap companies that are down quite a lot are the high growth, high retail investor companies. They're the ones that have been hurt. And probably if you're watching this, and as well as me talking about it, the YouTube scene is full of probably younger investors, definitely younger retail investors. And because of that, we're kind of more focused on trying to buy early stage companies that have the potential to 10x in the next few years, because we are quite younger investors and we want to be more aggressive. And the way to be more aggressive, and when you're in the bull market, and the way to get better returns, is by having them companies. And unfortunately, those are the companies that have been absolutely hurt over the last few days. It's always good that I always do say this, and I want to just go back to this point as well to make it very clear. You do always want to have diversified investments though, because if this situation happens, if you hold your shares, like you know me, you know my portfolio, like Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, if you have them sort of positions, they're kind of like just holding your portfolio up nicely, and making sure it doesn't go down too much in a situation like we currently have. So those stocks are always good to have. It's always good to diversify and have a different range of investments with the industry they're in, market cap size as well. But yeah, for a lot of us guys that are a bit more of the younger investors, that are a little bit more aggressive, that go for the smaller market caps, we've definitely feel what has been like a stock market crash feeling at the moment, because some of our stocks have lost massive amounts of value in the same time. And the only feeling that's ever been like this recently was 12 months ago in March 2020. That was the last time we had where a lot of our investments, losing half the value within a 1 month period. And very much like here, it's not all the stocks, and why I call it the silent crash, because you put on the big news channels, they're not talking about it, because a lot of the Wall Street stocks, a lot of the big companies that most of them what they're investing are unaffected. The indexes are unaffected. And this is why it's only affecting a few stocks and a certain amount of investors as well. But it's definitely worth saying that in future years, when we get to 2022, 2023, 2024, we'll come back to this point. We'll say, do you remember that time in 2020 when you invested in the crash and you made money? Do you remember in 2021 where we had the growth stock crash, the silent crash, and you invested and you made money? And this is I'm not going to spend too much on it today, because I've covered it on previous videos. But this is when you buy. It is a test. It is the massive test of an investor. Loads of people this is when people get scared out. People either get scared out, or they keep buying and they get the rewards further down the line. And this is the easiest time to make money. The only problem is it's easy, but also if you are very new to it, if you don't have the experience of being through this situation where you're high up, you come down, and you've got to buy in them situations, it does test you a bit emotionally, and also test your patience slightly. It is a very tricky situation, and this is why the stock market isn't for everyone. This is why everyone isn't in individual stock peaking, because these are the tricky times, because they're the easiest time to make money, but they're the hardest time as the investors, because it will test you emotionally. And what is happening at the moment, like I said, we are very, very sold off at the moment. And in my opinion, this is always the best situation that we have, where we have a massive, not a slow trend, and we just go down and down and down for a long period, where we have a massive hard hit like that. These are my favourite times, because you flush so many paper hands out of the stock, and it gets to the bottom so much quicker. And also, when that happens, so many paper hands get flushed out, you would probably get to lows a lot quicker than if it was slowly. Whereas it like that, there's a lot more panic, and you get lower lows, which gives you more upside to average in and make more money, which is great. But we are very sold off. There's a point where you're looking at some of these companies down, and you're going, they actually can't go to zero. So how low can they go? Like you're thinking with a lot of these companies, like, because they're down so much, you're starting to think that something's changed with the company fundamentally, but there hasn't. And we are very sold off. And today, which I'll talk about, when I talk about this, we're being very fast sold off. I'm going to talk about the rebound a little bit today that we saw in a little bit. But as well, something just to be really careful of. And I've noticed this. My writing on this one isn't that great, but this is missing bears are back. At the moment as well, what always happens in the stock market is you have the pressure of the stocks going down and down, and you've got to deal with that emotionally. It is a tricky time. But as well, and I didn't really see this one coming, because they've been missing for the last 12 months. That's what I say here, missing bears are back. When this stock market happens and it goes down, there's always going to be people that go, oh, I told you it was down. Oh, of course this stock's going down, it's a bad company. They come out the woodwork. Now, I kind of forgot about this, because we haven't seen them for the last 12 months. The bears totally disappeared out of the scene. You haven't seen any bears in the stock market since like June 2020. And it's, stocks have been going up to, new 52 highs, and they've all been very quiet. Now, you got to be careful, because some of them are coming out now and going, oh, this is why it's down, it's absolutely bad company. And that's never going to help you, because you're starting to think, well, it's already testing you emotionally. But when there's people spamming stuff everywhere, there's people spamming like false claims everywhere, like Yahoo Finance is absolutely awful on the moment. I'd advise you, if you're a little bit nervous at the moment, that's definitely not the place to go onto the Yahoo Finance message board. It's a brutal place at the moment. But the bears have all come out the woodwork. And it's funny, because they've all been missing for the last 12 months. But that's obviously something just to be aware of, that there'll be a lot of people that will come out and put a lot of false information out while we're in this situation. So just be very careful of that. That's something that I've noticed over the last kind of week as well. Just be careful. Now, at the moment, we've got a fast rebound going on. Today was a fast rebound. And if you average in, you will start to see the rewards of that, because very quickly, when we do hit the bottom, we always have when we do hit a bit of a bottom, we do slingshot and shoot back up. One of the big stocks today was Skills. Skills, absolutely brutal last kind of 1 month, 2 month. The stock's gone from $40, it went down to, what was it, like $12 yesterday? I mean, it has had to put a little bit of a rebound in. And that's the thing, this is why I say you can't time the market, because if you time the market and go, I'll just wait until the bottom's out, it'll just bottom down, and then it'll have, I'll wait until it has a couple of good days and all that. The problem is if you hit the bottom like that, it just spring shots up and it rebounds so quick, it's very easy to miss the bottom. And the time where you could have really dragged that average price down, you would have missed them opportunities. Now, over the last few days, I'll let you into a little secret. This is normally Patreon content, but you guys on Patreon will know this. My last few days, I've been buying Skills quite heavy. I never thought I'd buy Skills this heavy, but because you're giving me such a good company at $12, I was like, I'm going to buy it. So I did buy it. And that basically mean what happened for me is this situation, hopefully you have a situation that's very similar. Silent crash, what was happening is I had an average on Skills of $17. Because of this pullback, I've been able to pull my average on Skills from $17 all the way down to $15. Now, because of the fast rebound, one day like that, I'm back in the green on Skills now. I'm back in the profit. I'm going to talk about it in a second. It might not be forever, but that's the brilliant thing of averaging down on a dip like that. You get your average lower and lower, and now I'll make more money, because my average previously I'd have made everything above $17. But now I've got an average of $15, I'm going to make even more money on the upside, and that was the benefit of me just averaging. I might not get the bottom, but $15, $12, it's pretty low, and we have one slingshot rebound day like that, I'm back in the green. And hopefully that's the benefit of averaging down over a course of a period when it's going down and down, because you might not get the bottom, but you get a decent average, and just like that, we're back in the green. So that's like one of the fast rebounds that's definitely happened out there today. There's a few more out there, but Skills was definitely a standout one. Putting in a 30% gain, pretty good. Obviously we've still got a bit to go, but definitely a strong day, and definitely marks a little bit of a bottom there. it's got a little bit to go back down there, so we'll see what exactly happens from there. But yeah, it definitely will move a bit over the next few days anyway still. And like I said, what I said there, it might not be the bottom. You know, I just talked about skills there. It might not be the bottom, so always be careful of that, and that's why I'm still trying to not go. You know, I won't buy in as heavy today. I'm trying to be a little bit more cautious on the cash and spending, because I still might need to average in a bit more. Skills might go lower than this. I mean, it does look positive, but you know, what happens if it goes lower? I get the chance to average in, and same again if I get my average lower, and then we find another bottom and it spring bounces off, and that is the bottom. You know, my average gets lower, I make more money in the long term, and it's all good, you know. So those are the current situations that are going on. So I hope you found the video useful anyway. I thought talking about that stock in particular, because we did talk about it a little bit a few days ago, but that was definitely one of the standout ones. And yeah, definitely if you were in that one with a good average, averaging in, today you would have seen the benefits from that. And like I say, for me especially, like I'm back in the green on that one, which is absolutely great. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to cover today, talking about this little silent crash that is going on, a few more little update things, and just kind of keep there with you guys, give you like my thoughts on the current situation. But yeah, today was a day where we didn't have the bleeding today, so we'll see how long that lasts for. But yeah, hopefully you're all doing okay out there, and hopefully this video once again gave you a little bit of a pep talk to carry on doing what you're doing. And yeah, there's some money to be made out there for sure. So yeah, if you could smash the like button if you did make it all the way to the end, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.